I'll go ahead and get it live up there. But I'm not displaying the video yet. I'm just displaying audio.
Okay.
Um, here. Home. Copy link. Okay. I'm going to send it to you.
Yummy.
Yeah, it was tasty.
Post it on the. I'll put it on Sessions page. Ooh, figure I'd join you. Yes. So I want to put. I was trying to set everything up to figure out how to broadcast that live performance last night, and it wouldn't let me do it to the Sprangboro Sessions group. So that's why I actually make the page.
Gotcha.
At 5:30. Link as a launch party. Launched. I'll figure out how to do this. And once I do, it's going to be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome.
Okay. So there's that. And I haven't started recording any of the audio or video yet because it's just not that time just yet.
No, you're right on.
Yeah. Ooh, man, what a crazy night last night was. And I'll tell you guys about that here on the podcast, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Save it for the cat.
Does this sound a lot better? I ain't going to hide.
Yeah, it sounds better actually without that filter on.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Sounds sexier. Like you took the condom off.
Yes.
It's a lot more intimate.
Is this fan going to be too loud?
I heard it for like a second.
Yeah, I only heard it for a second too.
Well, that's because I have a noise gate on my board. So after I stop, I have it set to kill the line. Watch this.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
And I have it set to where the attacks are not instantly.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
That's called a noise gate, gentlemen.
You're all kinds of fancy over there.
Well, you do know I've been procrastinating the snot out of getting my studio set up exactly the way it needed to be. But because I had a band here yesterday, I had to set it all up correctly. It was awesome.
You gotta come through, man.
Yeah, man. It was that's why Friday I was MIA as well. Just take care of business.
Yes, sir.
TCB.
Oh, teacup, as we call it. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's really nice.
Come on, cool sea breeze. I'm waiting for you. It's fucking hot as hell up here.
Oh, it's perfect out here today, man.
Oh, control this light. I kind of need that one, I guess. It wasn't there yet. Oh shit. Went down to the old watering hole, got a couple of gallons of some spring water.
So what I was saying before I realized I was muted was that that obviously we're going to start it at 5:30 on the dot, so that way it just I can make sure to hit it go.
All right.
I know it's a little later than I wanted to start, but I figured with the three of us, somebody's audio's coming back pretty loud.
That's I just realized my phone didn't mute.
Um, I turned mine off, I think. Yeah, but fuck man, I'm so whooped. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say was I actually was surprised that either of you guys were on today. I figured you guys were not gonna be on, so I'm glad you're here. Obviously, but um, yeah, crazy, 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 crazy. So,
Rachel's boyfriend is down from Maine, so he's over there now, so he can take over for a couple of days.
huh, nice. Obviously.
She wanted me to meet him, and I said no, thank you.
Mm.
This is like the fourth boyfriend I've met. I'm in the past couple of
That's
years.
that's
I'm
okay.
good.
That's okay.
Like, well, I want you to get to meet him. I was like, why? You're gonna dump him in like a month. Why am I?
I, you should know I get attached too easily.
Yeah, exactly. What if he's a cool guy and I like him?
That's funny stuff right there.
You know?
Now with Zoom, I gotta make sure it's recording the right thing. It has to be, or else it wouldn't be working. Zoom. Yeah, let's go to Zoom meeting here. I just gotta double check and make sure that my settings are set correctly.
Oh
Because
yeah.
last time I remember I forgot to push something. I was like super pissed off at myself. I'm like, come on, Jamie. Get too many things on my mind, and then it's hard to make sure that everything's set right.
Money and my money on my mind.
I am definitely going to be buying. That's a microphone. Speakers, yeah. So I mean that's right. I am going to be investing in a few more webcams here very soon for the next live studio performance I do.
So you do multiple angles.
Yes, because again with Streamlabs, um,
You get multiple sources coming in at once, right?
correct.
Yeah.
So I have this app on my phone that's linked, and I can control the show.
Yeah, that's right. I think I saw that
Which
when I was
scenes
in
and stuff
Streamlabs.
you want to do, yeah.
Yep.
So the next time while they're doing their performance, I'm going to be able to go through the different cameras
Yeah.
on it. You know, it's
That's
gonna be,
cool.
it's gonna, webcams are ridiculously cheap now, but they're ridiculously hard to find locally.
Yeah. Yeah, locally. Yeah, you got to order everything online now.
Yeah, so you just
I
gotta
still haven't.
buy it online and wait for the 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
they still haven't shipped my laptop yet either.
Jeez.
They were supposed to ship it the latest yesterday. So now I got to call them tomorrow and find out what the heck's going on. It's like getting ridiculous. It's supposed to be here by Wednesday.
Yeah, you've been waiting, Christ, a month now or something.
Yeah, it's like a month now they've been doing this bullshit, you know? I don't want to get to the 17th and then they cancel the order again and then I got to roll online and fucking reorder it.
Right. Well, hey, I'm gonna take the next 5 minutes. I'm gonna mute my mic. If you guys want to do that or whatever. 5:30 on the dot.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger.
All right, cool.
Sound good, Rasta? I'm taking 5 minutes of
Trizzle.
silence. Again, the video's not going anywhere, so that way you can do your makeup real quick, TJ.
Son of a bitch.
Got him.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, man. Yeah.
even with the virus and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that hasn't gone away, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's still here. Oh man.
Yeah, luckily Illinois, the numbers have been going down. We're
Yeah.
on pace to cope.
5, 4. Gentlemen, what's going on? Sprangboro Sessions here. On the show today, we've got Jerry Jasper.
Greetings.
We got Tony Otto. Everybody, I had to make sure.
Salutations.
I had to make sure that I pronounced it correctly. So before we get going, it is a podcast after all. So I want to go ahead and start with Aaron Forsyth. He played bass guitar in a phenomenal band, Sea Hollies. Probably my favorite band of really all time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start over as silly as it might sound. Um, yeah. So gentlemen, what's going on? Sprangboro Sessions. It's Jamie Daire here. Roll call. We got Jerry Jasper.
Greetings.
We got Tony Otto.
Hello.
All right, so I'm trying some new software today, trying some new things, but I want to start with some sponsors. I'll keep it brief. Aaron Forsyth Podcast. You can find it at anchor.fm/Aaron Forsyth. He's a comedian by trade now. He used to play in several bands. He's a guy I look up to a lot. Just make sure you send some love. We're also brought to you by Donch Auto Body. For free estimates and inquiries, please call Dan at 814-756-5118. Enough can't be said about how great of a guy he is. He also has a studio there called Orpheus Sun Studios. If you're in Erie County, Pennsylvania, or surrounding areas, and you're looking for great recording at reasonable prices, contact Dan as well. Again, it's 814-756-5118. And I also have another one that I don't have my screen up correctly, but it's going to be for On Point Productions. If you're looking to do backing tracks for your music to just jam along with, give him a search. He was here earlier. We were trying to sort out the link. I'll post it on the new page, the Sprangboro Sessions page. So again, it's backing tracks, but they're not your granddaddy's backing tracks. They're metalcore. I hope you guys check it out. With that being said, how we doing, guys? What a crazy week! It's beautiful out there today.
Yes, sir. Not bad at all.
How's Cape Cod? How's the weather? How's the vibes? Like, what's going on?
It's hot. We had a bunch of people coming back from off Cape. I saw all kinds of traffic for the bridge, which isn't a good sign, considering everything that's been going on. So, I mean, it's not quite as bad yet as it was, in previous years as far as, the seasonal traffic goes and all the visitors that we get. But I don't know. I think it's still going to be a pretty busy summer.
That's awesome, man. How about Illinois there?
Oh, it's a perfect day today, man. We got 70s. It's sunny, breezy. Yeah,
That's
perfect
awesome.
day. It's chill in every sense of the word. Nice and quiet.
Yeah, that's never a bad thing. I'm gonna have to take a hot minute because I just spilled something on the floor here, and I don't want to soak through the ground and leak onto the car. So, TJ, I know you've had some recent things happen. I don't know if you want to get into that or mention it to anything, or I don't know. Just take the wheel. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, it's been just a crazy couple of days. Actually, crazy couple of weeks, just back to back tragedies in this neck of the woods. But I'd rather not focus on that too much today. I kind of want to keep it upbeat, It's been looking better in our area. We've had less and less cases. We had a couple of days where there was no new cases at all of coronavirus, which was kind of cool. Again, we're probably like 5 to 7 days out from anything popping from the recent reopenings here, but we'll see what happens. How about where you were saying earlier?
Yeah,
Jerry?
we're in same spot, man. We're the numbers are looking better than they were before, and just waiting to see, what the next week brings. But for now, everything looks good, and people are keeping masked up and social distancing, and as far as the opening, we opened a couple of weeks ago, outdoor dining, that type of stuff. So it's cool to see people out and about, especially on a beautiful day like today. You go cruising around, you see
Yeah.
people out eating. So getting
Yeah,
slowly getting there.
a lot of places around here are doing that outdoor patio eating and stuff, converting
Hmm.
parts of parking lots to dining areas. One of the pizza places that my brother works at, they put a big huge park, those big huge park round tables,
Hmm.
benches. They put those all out on the outside, and people can go out there and eat out there now on the lawn. So a lot of places are getting a lot more creative now that the weather's nicer.
Innovation at its finest, man.
Yeah.
Seeing that everywhere here in Erie. It's actually kind of the laughing joke uh, because if you were to go online right now and you were to look at the different phases or the different counties of where who's open and who's not, uh, yes, you should definitely look at the one for Erie County. They're the only ones that are still yellow
Really?
uh, in pretty much the whole state.
Now, does that go by cases, like current cases that aren't resolved yet? Is that why?
Yeah,
It's
between the,
probably because you have a major hospital there, right?
we have two major hospitals here in Erie
Yeah,
County.
that's probably why. Yeah,
But
it's
uh,
crazy though. They're right over the line. That's not that far. You're green, right? And or all your surrounding areas.
I'm in Crawford County, which
Yeah,
is right next door,
yeah.
and yes, we are yellow here.
Oh, okay.
Or green here, sorry.
Green.
We're
Yeah,
green
yeah.
here, and they're yellow in Erie County. And it's really, 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 really just weird because honestly, I'll show you a picture later of it. It's just ridiculous.
All this
Uh,
big green area with a yellow spot in the center.
um, yeah, definitely wild. But hey, that's just the way she goes. I think they were having an average of like 20 to 30 for a couple days. I think
Oh, really?
I think today or yesterday they said the total was so many, so it was 8 for the day. Um, but yeah,
So
Erie County is they're not going for another week, and even if it is another week, it's still 2 weeks. And
yeah.
a lot of shows that my band played were in Erie County. We played in a few places in Crawford County, um, but
But Erie is like the big city, though. That's where everything
pretty
pretty much
much,
is, right? Yeah.
yeah. So I've seen some of the bars. There's a bar up there called Doc Holidays. The Mark Mazzucco or something like that's his last name. Uh, Real nice guy. Every time we've been there, he's been very hospitable, and made us feel like we were family right off the bat. And I seen that what something that his bar did is they put in a big uh, pavilion tent, uh, like you would see kind of at a circus. For a smaller section, he's got a decent sized one up there. So I'm not sure if he has live entertainment just yet, but I'm sure it won't be much longer. And I know we can't wait to make a comeback going there or playing at the Best Western Saloon and some other places. They're just fun places to play, and some of the only places to play in an area like this. Um, but yeah, innovation is what it all stems off of. They are just coming up with ways to be open and ways to get things done, and I love it. I love the creativity. Um, I Again, this pandemic sucks balls, man. There's
Yeah.
nothing cool about it for anybody. Not me, not you, not anyone
No, no.
that's had to deal with it even closer firsthand or had it. I haven't yet. Knock on wood. Hope I don't. But I know that this has been a great thing for a lot of the changes that have been needed to be made, man.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's definitely been a good thing for a lot of people as far as making them more aware about everything that's going on around them. Outside of the little bubble.
Oh, absolutely. I know that they're finding different ways to do concerts and things like that. So anyone that follows the podcast or follows the pages, or me in general, they know that last night I did the first Sprangboro Sessions little. It's called on air, and all on air means is whether there's a performance of a band or whether it's a performance of an acoustic act, myself, or just a night full of stupid jokes for a little bit. It's going to be called an on air because it's going to be a couple minute thing. It's going to be a part of Sprangboro Sessions, but it's just going to be like a little thing, kind of like Mag. But last night we had the first band ever on air, and that was Next in Queue. I want to throw a big shout out to them, and the reason why I'm going to bring it up to into this podcast, obviously, because it is still part of it. I had so much fun last night doing that. It was so random and so different. I didn't normally I'm always like texting, hey guys, check this out, tell me what you think. I didn't do that yesterday for either of you guys because I knew you guys have both been pretty busy. This last week with some things that have come out and have been going on. But I didn't drown that onto you guys yet because I want to tell you about it after I did it for once and tell you what it was like for me. So I took the drums, I took the bass guitar, the electric guitar, all their vocals, and I streamed it all into my computer. So my board, my digital Air, my Behringer Air, it has 16 channels. And the drums, I use 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 because it would be kick, snare, one tom,
Hi-hats.
floor tom, and then one overhead, which is like all your brass cymbals and stuff. And so that was live. I had the bass guitar, mine line direct from the amp he had, a line out, and then the electric guitar, we had turned his amp sideways into the wall to absorb the sound with a microphone in front of it, so that way we could control the sound that he hears in his, because we all used in-ear monitors for the first time together. All four of them had in-ear monitors. I had the main mix and overall, and it was so crazy to hear everything up in my headphones because those guys, when they heard it, it was probably blah 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 clack 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 tap tap. If you ever played an electric guitar, it's not what you think it sounds like when you're actually playing one not plugged into an amp or compressed in a recording. You're just like strumming. It's just like nothingness. And that's what it sounded like up here. Jimmy, the drummer for Next in Queue, he's been on the show several times. He's playing a loud drum set. So his noise is really all that you could hear up here. Because the guys, they had in-ear monitors, so it didn't matter. They could hear whatever the hell they wanted to, as loud as they wanted it to.
Yeah.
I had Adam keep his guitar down, the guitar player keep it down, pointing it to the side. He found a level that he liked it where he could hear it still, and it blended in with his in-ear, so it gave it body without being too loud. And then Greg, I was really surprised. His volume was really far down. I don't think. Like for me, I didn't really notice it because I wasn't playing it. But I don't know how he felt about it. But I'm gonna find out and ask him how he felt. Because like in the room, it was really quiet.
Yeah.
All you hear was Jimmy's drums. Scott, you could see him over there holding the mic. He's singing, and I was like, Scott got no mic. Scott got no mic. Yeah. And Scott Learn, everybody that's been on the show many times, him and Jimmy, that was their band that we've talked about doing a live show with, Next in Queue. So it was really, really kind of a cool concept, really a virtual show, because you've had so many people that have done a show, and if you listen to the audio through your cell phone, your computer, it doesn't matter. They're listening to it from one set of speaker type. And so you had to make it sure that it was pleasant for everybody, So that was really interesting, and it took me a long time to master that down. And I've had a lot of help from my friends. Had a little help
For my friends.
Oh yeah. People that have spent countless hours. Those guys were like, Jamie, thank you so much for how much time you put into it. I'm like, fuck, you guys have put in just as much time because I will call you guys and I'm like, all right, man, check this out. I'm gonna play my guitar for you, write my new song. Tell me how it sounds. They're like, oh, it sounds good. I'm like, no, I'm like, how's it really sound? They're like, it sounded okay. Like, listen to it. And I'm like, yeah. So I've had to put you guys through that several times, and thank you so much. I'll hurry up and wrap on this bit. Rabbit holes, man.
You're fine.
That's my thing. But yeah,
dig deep, man. Dig deep.
So this band, I had a whole band here, and if you listen to other bands, what you hear on their audio, which is where I was at, if you listen to their audio, it's basically one source of a microphone picking up everything going on around it. For the non nerd, the music nerd, the non vocal nerd, whatever, audio sound
file?
engineering. Okay,
Yes.
sound engineering.
Yes.
So they were taking they normally take one audio source of audio, and it's picking up everything around it. You got all the music, the drums, the guitars, the bass guitar, the vocals, you have everything. And it's trying to pick all them up. So you dial them all in to where it sounds pretty good in a main, all at one time. And then you're trying to record that through this little dinky ass microphone generally.
Yeah.
If you have talent, not a lot of people do, but if you have talent, you can do it and you can make it sound amazing.
Yeah.
But that
It takes a lot of tinkering.
and a lot of hard work to dial it in. I don't have that kind of patience or hard work or focus mostly. So I take my air with the 16 channels. And if anybody had watched my personal band that I play bass guitar in South of 90, and they were able to check it out and they were to hear us live. The very first there was two different occurrences, but the second time we did 3 quick segments. To anybody that follows the story. Now here's my rabbit hole. So the first one, we go live onto Facebook, and I'm expecting to take 16 channels into Facebook at one time. Well, we go to start, and I realized we're supposed to start like 4 that day. I realized at like 3:08 or 3:58 that I can't do that. Well, that's awesome. So I'm thinking about it. We go live. It's giving me an option of 2 channels, and it's not my line outs. It was just 2 lines, 7 and 8 or whatever. If you want to know what this means, you can do some research and you'll figure it out. I won't get that involved because these guys probably want to talk about their day a little too. So
Good.
So 7 and 8, you have your channels, and then you have your output. Well, this only gave me 2 channels, but without being able to do an output, I'm like, what the hell? So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just record it with a condenser microphone. If you want to know what that means, look it up. So I take the overhead mic off the drum set and I put it up over top of us in the middle of 2 guitar amps, a bass guitar amp, live drums, and 3 vocalists. So I started above us, and it was so loud, and it sounded like dog shit. I knew it. We knew it. We had to give everybody a chance to tell us whether it sounded good or not. So they tell us how bad it is. We're like, all right, we're cutting it. So take 2. I take said overhead mic, and instead of leaving it above us, I moved it across the room in front of us, where all the sound is pointing at.
Traveling.
So I'm like, all right, I put it out there. I'm almost certain that this is gonna work. I hit go live. Everybody's like, well, that's much better. Fucking turd's a turd. So then also, by the way, this one guy and his wife, they say don't read the comments. Well, I ended up going back and reading the comments afterwards. And the guy says something about die. I was like, damn, must really not have liked the sound of the volume. So whatever. We're live. It's going okay. Sounds much better. We lose all sound. All sound. Everything. All you're hearing is fucking drums. I'm like, oh my god. Dude, my face is... Okay. What do I do it wrong? People hate me right now. There's like 1,000 people watching us play this shit, and I cannot get this fucking thing right. And you can tell the people that you love because they're all like, "Oh man, it sounds much better. Keep going. You guys are getting it." That's and you're like, okay, well these people clearly are getting drunk, but that's good. That's good, and so I'm like, oh shit. So we'll be back. Deuces. I cut it. So trial and error. By then, Jimmy, the drummer, he's like, drums are too loud. I'm switching to a cajon. I'm like, dude, trust me, it will work. And he's like, if we're not gonna get it, we probably shouldn't do it. I'm like, listen, there's a bunch of people who are just happy right now to hear something. So just trust me. And he's like, I'm going to play the cajon. I said, okay, whatever. Go ahead, Jim. So Jimmy sits on the cajon, and then I take a cover and I cover the microphone so it wouldn't have a bunch of high end. And then I took another speaker and I put it in front of the speaker, and I pointed that speaker directly out because the only thing coming through that speaker was vocals. So that way the vocals would be out front and be the loudest. Went well. Another hour and a half we're playing. Everybody's like, oh, much better. Jamming, we're doing our thing. I go back, I'm so pumped. I'm like, hell yeah, fuck you, I go back and I listen to it, and it's only coming through one channel. The right channel. I'm like, what the hell, man? So it's got to be channel 7 and 8, legitimately, left and right. Dumbass. So I'm feeling pretty defeated. Everybody's like, oh, it sounded great. Because they're listening to it on a cell phone that has one speaker. Sounds great, tablet, one speaker. Their computer is coming out one channel. Headphones. You're like, got them. So everybody's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They're just happy it went down. I'm like, dude, I was sick to my stomach. Because you know how involved I've been in this shit. And we've told people on this podcast time and time again how involved that it's been, but I haven't really talked about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to chime in or you want to change the subject at any time, by all means.
No, man, go.
I'm just. You told me to do some more rabbit holes, so here I go. So after that show, here's what I learned. To any geeks out there, nerds out there. So what I've done is I set up another interface onto my computer. And then I take my other channel, my other board, my fancy board, 16 channel, and I run that 16 channel board out left and right, 1 and 2, into line and 1, line and 2 of the other mixer. I zero them all out. I hit zero gain, zero highs, mids, lows, zero everything. Just put everything to zero, unity gain as they call it. And then I honestly just used my big board as to set everything. And all I did was I treated it like a live show. Like if I was running sound for them at like the Sandbar, I would set everything with my speakers, my big speakers, and I would dial it in. Instead of using my headphones. I learned a valuable lesson doing this yesterday. From now on, I will always use my headphones first. The main mix, I will bring it all to where it sounds great. Negative 10 decibels, digitally, blah, 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 blah. And then I will just use the power amp to give it volume, because that is the same thing I'm doing with my computer. Same scenario. Check it out. You can see it on the Sprangboro Sessions page. Again, so here's my fuck ups from last night to anybody that watched it. I'll be very brief. My fuck ups. I forget to start recording it so I can have it in one compressed file, video, audio together, one file, harmony. And so I could post it on YouTube. I forget to do this. I'm like, first thing I realize, shitballs. So now I can't give these guys this video. I can't post this video on YouTube because now the only place that it's at is on Facebook. Okay? First mess up. Second mess up. When I was setting everything to stream live, I clicked on this other thing to try and share it to my personal page. Well, I changed the whole thing from Sprangboro Sessions page to my personal page. So this whole thing streamed onto my personal page.
Oh, okay.
And not the Sprangboro Sessions page like I tried to set it up. Created the damn Sprangboro Sessions page to be able to start doing
Don't do that.
So there's my second mess up. Here's how I rectified both of those. So the very first mess up that I forgot to hit record, Thank God I recorded it onto Facebook because there's a way if you go to a video, pay attention. If you go to a video that you like on Facebook, you go to a computer, you go to your screen or whatever, you find that video, you right click on it and you go to copy
File.
copy
file.
video link.
Oh, okay.
You copy that. Then you open a new browser. You type or you paste in this copied link. You guys are gonna love this. And then in this link it says http:// blah 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 blah. Take www, delete it out. Change it to mbasic, which is mobile basic. You go to that link and it has the same page. You right click on the file or the video after you click play or whatever, you right click on it and it says save video. So you don't even need software to do it. You literally do it with Facebook. So that's how I rectified that situation is I got the audio and video off of there, saved it, uploaded it to YouTube. The second problem that didn't make last night go as well as I wanted it to, because I'm just remember, a perfectionist is never happy. I will make sure that I get that next time. Today on the podcast, I learned how to mute their like your guys' chat stuff and my chat stuff, and have just the streaming shit. Dude, this is what I've been doing, and this is awesome. I am just so proud last night is over, dude. I've been stressing about that show since they asked me. I told them about. I was like, dude, I think I could pull this off. They're like, hey, well, why don't you you want to do host next in queue? I'm like, you're fucking right, I do. Best damn guinea pigs ever. First band I ever ran sound for that I wasn't in was for them. I was awful. They were great. It was their first show. I was awful, but they were like, oh, dude. Yeah. I'm like, sorry about your ears being fucking blown out. I was going to call my sound. I was going to call it Too Loud Sound. Because when we were playing at the first show, these people were like, oh, it's too loud. It's too loud. Yeah, it's too loud. You know? So I was going to call it Sort of Loud Sound, actually. Now I just don't even call it anything. Now I'm just part of the band. Next in queue. So shout out to them. Check it out on Sprangboro Sessions YouTube page, or check it out on Sprangboro Sessions page. You can find the links. Yeah, it was awesome. I had my nieces over today. It was a great weekend for me, man. Like,
Nice.
dude, I feel so alive right now. Like, dude, I feel like the luckiest fucking man alive. So we had a birthday party yesterday for one of our cousins' daughters. So she's like second cousin, I guess, but they're all like just little cousins to us. She turned big 1-3. Woo, go you, girl. You think you have life figured out? I'm 37, and I'll tell you what, I still have 0% idea what I'm doing. But happy birthday, Corinne. Great party that they threw for. It was here in Crawford County. We were having a silent protest, basically, so we were able to have, like 10 people here. We were all social distancing or whatever. We had invisible masks. So if anybody took any pictures, they were there. They were just very invisible and transparent, like non-existent. But it's the people that were around every day. We brought that up in the past. But yeah, so it was awesome. We had this little party. It was awesome. And then today, the nieces were here, so they were all riding down this little parking lot. Jaslyn and Phelan and my daughter, and we're trying to teach my kid to ditch the training wheels. She went without her training wheels without me like holding on to her for like a 13th of a second. She was done. I'm like, you got it, kid. You got it. Sounds great. Yeah, can't hear shit, but it sounds good. Yeah, you got this. I believe in you. I believe in you, kid. But she was like, not right now, Dad. I'm like, all right. So her cousin Jaslyn, the oldest one, she put the wheels back on for her. She got to use the fancy wrenches. So learning some rednecky shit. Because Jaslyn, dude, she loves that stuff. Like if you hand her a pressure washer and my shit kickers, my rubber boots, she'll fucking Dude, she'll turn my house from yellow down to white. She will figure that shit out. She will pressure wash all day. Love that kid.
Nice.
Like a little tomboy, but she loves her Spider-Man shit. But I haven't seen them in fucking months, dude. Months. And you know what? Live or die, man. It's unfortunate. I don't want anybody to go through it, but I felt alive today and yesterday, and dude, it was awesome. Tell me about your week, Rasta.
First of all, you're only coming in on the right headphone here.
Son of a bitch, am I for real? Seriously?
Damn it, you took my joke.
Fuck! Dude, you're about to make me cry. GFY, my friend.
I mean, I
Thanks.
felt like I had to.
I needed that. Thank you.
I felt like I had to. Yeah, this week. I mean, how do I follow up what you just said there? That was.
I woke up
the grass.
Stuff.
I cut the grass.
That's awesome.
No family parties, but I feel you on the birthday. We had my niece turned 14 2 weeks ago. I think I talked about that, where we had the little car parade for her and everything, which was awesome.
Which, by the way, you inspired us. That I was going to get to that. Remember, you said you guys did the parade.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was brilliant. So we did one of our own today. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can check it out on the pages. Thank you for the inspiration.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I just I worry about, and this is a joke that somebody did. I might be screwing up, but I worry about the kids. You know, when they hear honking horns in the future, you know, they're gonna think that like,
whose birthday is it? I love that meme. Whose birthday is it?
Dude,
Yeah.
so that's really gonna screw with the ice cream man, even in a worse way.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Awesome.
But yeah, let's see what other highlights this week. And just trying to get some more content for the Middle Age Gaming podcast.
When are we doing that next? Did Justin tell you? We'll have to
I'm
reach
ready
out to
whenever
him.
you guys are.
I can't remember if it's Tuesday or Thursday or something.
He's usually off Tuesdays.
All right. Yeah, we'll just keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll be doing it soon. But
we had a little.
So
bit
what kind of you want to dive in a little bit here, or you want to save it for that?
Yeah,
Or?
Yeah, you can dive into it here a little bit. That's fine.
Well,
we can entitle this one "Middle Age Gaming" for the week.
Yeah. No, just, you know, don't want
I've got a shitload of stuff we can go over. I got plenty for two podcasts for us. So
nice.
By all means,
Anyways, any
drop
memes?
whatever.
He said, "By any memes."
Memes? No. I just texted Justin to see when he wants to do it. No,
Nice.
so
That's awesome.
Just getting stuff together for that. You know, I watched the hour and a half, I think it was, video of the PlayStation 5 release. Which,
Yep.
Any gamer, if you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. It's pretty cool. It's exciting, man. It's exciting to see, you know, the next generation, I guess, so to speak. And then it was refreshing to see something new. So yeah, that was cool. And then, you know, just trying to get into a couple more games just to have a little bit more broader spectrum of, you know, what to be able to talk about. And then obviously we got into some Rocket League this last week. We got Justin up and running on there. I think we haven't done 4 yet, have we? With all 4 of us?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Looking forward to that, but you know, just trying to get the skill sets down. Man, that game could be very tricky to get the proper skills down. But
Yep.
Once you practice, the cool thing is, you know, you've got that ability to, pre-play or whatever they call it, where you can just kind of practice, just kind of screw around and set up different types of shots for yourself. So yeah, been fun doing that. And then, well, like I said, other than that, cut the grass today.
That's awesome.
Got laundry to do at some point. You know,
Yeah.
just keeping it chill.
The regular stuff, laundry, dump.
Yeah. Oh, and, update for us. Yeah, we've been going down for everything with coronavirus, which is a good thing.
Awesome.
Chicago, southwest suburbs of Chicago. So I'm pretty much on the couple miles away from the borderline of Cook County and Will County. So I'm actually in Cook County, which is like 80,000 cases or something like that. I think it's the highest county in America, maybe even the highest county in the world.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's no joke. But the cool thing is, like I said, everything's been green lately. So the markers, there's 6 different markers that they have in order to hit to go into the next phase of reopening. And we've been consistently hitting all 6 of them, seeing improvements in all the areas. So it's a good thing. Just keeping my fingers crossed for everything, after all the protests. Chicago is a huge.
Oh,
huge,
yeah,
Yeah.
dude. People are stacked on top of
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, so we'll see what comes out of that. But TJ and I, before the podcast, we were kind of talking about the news and everything. Like there's something going on in Seattle. We're both just like I'm not even following the news anymore. Which
Yeah, no, I'd rather be in a better mood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you kind of get to like a burnout almost. Like, okay, it's all the same stuff. Details might be
I've heard it
different,
referred to as a COVID fatigue.
Sure, yeah. COVID protest fatigue.
Everything.
Defund the police fatigue. Just everything. It's there's just so much right now. It's just like, what? Let's stop pointing out like what's happening and let's start working towards what's gonna fix things. So
That's
I think in general, people are moving towards that mindset, which is a good thing. I have, the things I do watch. I still watch Conan O'Brien. I love Conan. He's such a nut. But this last week, his shows have been like, he's like, what, I don't want to talk. He goes, I'm gonna have somebody on and they're gonna talk most of the time. I'll ask a couple questions, and he's basically giving up his space for people to have an audience to have a voice.
Yeah.
So it's good to see stuff like that where it's not like because let's be real, he can fill up that entire time with pointing out all the stuff that's wrong or all the things that are getting the most views, but he's like, no, we're going to talk to somebody that is doing something to provide a solution. What else have I seen? A couple other shows that I watch consistently have fallen into that format as well too, which is awesome. It's like, hey, this ain't even like I've got a platform here. Like, let me use this platform to help, as opposed to just spend the entire time making fun of Trump, which I think it's awesome. It's cool to see.
What a difference, I know. I told you guys about how last week, the podcast had got a little got pretty awesome, and I got pretty. I had some highs and some lows out of it. I was very glad that we brought some light to things for anybody that was listening. Thanks for all the people that have reached out to me and have let me know or let us know how much they appreciated that. It did mean a lot. If you wonder why I keep looking down here, I'm just trying to make this post here for the stream so we can let people know we are watching and recording right now for anyone that wants to check it out. Because this has been a lot of work. But it's been awesome, and this pandemic is the only reason why I've been able to do any of this stuff. And I have a lot of friends that have gotten so many things done in their life now that they didn't have the time to do before. I got a buddy who, he's got a backhoe and so he bought this backhoe just to be able to put in a septic system out in the country.
Nice.
So he sent me a picture the other day of these big, giant, massive storage tanks that he has to bury and dig this huge trench to be able to
Yep.
put it in. You know, if this hadn't happened, he wouldn't be home enough to have had the time to do it. And
Yep.
yeah, I just think it's wild, man. That just the way that
It's
people
the
are
same-
finding times to do things now.
Well, we've been able to do this. I've been able to do, be on the cast. We've been able to do 2 different podcasts doing this. It's crazy. Like stuff that we've talked about doing for a long time that we've just either been too worn out at the end of the day or just been too preoccupied with other things going on in life that it's tough to get it to put the time in to get it all up and running and get it going and test it out and now we've been able to do that, and we're what, 16
well,
19
yes,
19 episodes in.
Yeah, I would say it should be 18 or 19, not including those. That includes the virtual show that I did privately that only a handful of people got to witness. I am going to be doing another one of them. I'm thinking next probably. Let me see my calendar here. No, I have anything planned. So probably next Saturday, I'll do another live of my. I'll go on and I'll play. Unless I can get a band here. If I can get a band here, I'll do that. But if not, I'll do it on air next Saturday, probably 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To anybody that's wanting to be a part of that. And again, it's an on air. It could last for 1 minute. It could last up to a whole day. Who knows? It's just a live at 5, basically. Should I do it on a Saturday, live at 5? Nah. 7 o'clock's probably better. Do you think? I mean,
Gives
like,
people a chance
I'm
to
just
get
asking you
home
an honest
and eat
question. Like,
dinner.
yeah,
7 o'clock probably better, just so people can get
it's the
chance to
weekend.
get home.
Weather's
eat,
nicer. I figure people are
Yeah.
outside getting shit done. So I figure
Yeah.
if it started like 7 o'clock, it's not too late.
be after dinner.
That's what time Next in Q started last night, and it seemed nice because we were wrapped up. They went almost 2 hours, including the interview, about 2 hours. And it was funny. My wife, as soon as I walk in the house, she's like, "Wow, everything sounded a lot better than the last time." I said, "Thank you." She's like, "I noticed people were really liking it, and then you started talking." And then people started not watching it, and then people would, whenever they click on it and they'd see the band, they would do it. I think that's awesome, as it should be. I think if it's going to be an on air, it's still going to be, a thing. I'm going to try it, interviewing the bands.
I think the interviewing thing's awesome.
I thought that's what really made it for me a great performance. They played awesome, but they were also telling everybody about the songs and about what they were thinking about. They were I asked them all kinds of questions, like what got them inspired to play music and some of their favorite bands, and we were laughing, telling jokes. It was awesome.
Yeah, like what are some of the things you do going up to a show? Like what do you focus on? Do you kind of hype yourself up? Do you get the butterflies every time? Stuff like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
To see that, to hear that part of it. In my eyes, that's what I would want to hear. Other than hearing the music, I'd want to hear more about what their day-to-day life got leading up to a show. Like
it's kind of it's like,
yeah. What do you do? Do you
who is your daddy and what does he do?
Do you rub one out before you get on stage? Do you like what's going on?
I want to what's the bathroom situation? Do you go full or empty?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your bathroom status?
Well, I got one.
Are you sitting good? Back. Are you sitting good on toilet paper? TP is currency. I actually went yesterday. To anybody that watched the show, and this is my rabbit hole for the week. You told me to do it, so here I am. So video, if you look at what we're presenting now, you're using a tablet. TJ's using an older laptop. Um, so he's using the camera from that, and I'm using a Logitech cheap one that I bought a couple years ago, webcam, because the one in my gaming laptop, which was nice, super nice, does not work. So the one that I have here, it's seven, and I'm only telling you this because this is the kind of shit that I've been thinking about. So I dig in last night and I'm looking at this webcam, and it's 720p. I'm like shit. So I think about this on Friday. I'm like, well, shit, I got to go buy another webcam to try and go 1080p. Nope, ain't finding one anywhere around. I just walk into the store. I'm like, listen, I know this is a really dumb question, but to be fair, school
anyway.
is out now, so I figured I would ask. Do you guys have any webcams? They're like, they walk me over to the spot that I started from. They clearly saw me at. I walk over. I'm like, all right, am I missing something? Guy walks over. He's like, reading the tag. He says, yeah, this is where you're supposed to get the webcams. I guess we don't have any. Like, but I guess I already figured that. I should have read the tag. But hey, I'm helping this guy because I'm giving him something to do. He's helping me. We're like being real people right now again. This is nice. So I'm going to buy another webcam here in another 2-3 weeks or so. Probably 3 more weeks. I'm going to buy 2 or 3 more 1080p cameras. I'm going to hang one in the main front, one where I put it last night, one off to the other side, and I'm going to put one just on the drums. So during a live performance and on air, I can change between the different cameras during the performance. So you'll be able to like really look at everybody or really, really zoom in on their guitar. Dude, it's gonna be the shit. It's a virtual show. Dude, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Just don't buy them on Walmart.com.
Dude, I felt like they were playing that show last night for just me. You know, like I'm just sitting back and like he's singing these words. I'm like, he's trying to serenade me, this dirty bastard.
When you explained the setup that you had, it made me think of I think I told you about this before. The silent discos that they have at music festivals.
Oh, you mentioned it very briefly.
Yeah. So I'll explain what it is. It's an area where there's a DJ playing, but from an onlooker, like if you don't have the headphones that they set you up with, you're watching everybody, you don't hear the music, but you see a whole group of people, maybe like 50 to 100 people, and they're all like, dancing on the same beat and everything. And it looks hilarious because like you see it from the outside, and all of a sudden like everybody's just like dancing, and then all of a sudden everybody just goes, oh, like why did they just scream? Like, what's going on right now?
That's crazy, man.
And like, you got to wait in line to get the headphones. Basically, they only have a certain amount, so you got to wait until somebody's done with theirs, so you can.
Which they can do social distancing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
As long as they wipe them down in between. No, I know this is not a current thing. I'm just saying, innovation for anyone that wants to do that. If you have wireless headbuds, all you have to do is sanitize them in between customers. Make everybody wear rubber gloves. Wipe them out or put some type of a covering over the disposable covering. Carry on.
There you go. So you get the clean headphones eventually, as Jamie was saying there. And then you go out in the crowd, and all of a sudden, like, you're hearing the music. So like you're hearing the beat, you're hearing what everybody else is hearing, and it's cool because it's like you feel like you have this little party that you're a part of, and everybody else like doesn't know what's going on with the party. Like they can't hear the music. They don't know what's going on. So it's like, kind of like your own secret crew, so to speak.
That's awesome.
And it's just, I think the first time I came around, it was at least 10 years ago. I want to say maybe Bonnaroo 2009, maybe, or like Lollapalooza, or like one of those, Coachella 2010, somewhere around that area. I caught it at maybe one or two. One I actually, no, two of them I waited in line and I went to it. There was one that I didn't go because the line was way too long. So I've seen 3 of them, and each time it's the same thing. Like it's just so cool to see. So like when you were explaining that scenario where like you hear everything but nobody else can like hear it, I've been there before, dude. You're kind of like, you know, like you have to know and everybody else don't know what's going on. You know, you're kind of like,
Well,
yeah,
if you know, you know. If you don't, you
If you
don't.
you don't.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you know.
Oh,
know.
dude, it's honestly it's quite an experience. Uh, it was so funny because when we were setting everything up, they spent not a crazy amount of time because this Behringer Air, dang, you know, quick rabbit hole. So you can control your personal mix, your personal in-ear monitor mix from your cell phone. Everybody can connect to it via its internal Wi-Fi. So that everybody connects to this this board, and all they can access is one channel of monitoring at a time. So they can't mess up main mixes. They can't mess up nothing. All they can do is adjust their own uh, channel at one time. But in that channel, you can bring 1 through 16 up in your in-ear. So if you wanted more kick drum, more snare drum, more guitar, more this guy's vocal, you can do that.
More cowbell.
Cowbell if you want to get that perfect blend. So they can control that shit all themselves too. Jimmy was adjusting his own, Scott was adjusting his own, and then I was taking care of the guitar player, the bass players, in-ear monitors. See, you thought I was gonna stop there, but I knew where your dirty ass mind was gonna go, because I said, yeah, I was playing with the bass player and Adam with their in-ears, anyways, pervert. So I was adjusting that, and then I would, if Jimmy or somebody needed some more volume on like Scott's vocal or whatever, I'd adjust it and get it all right. But the simplicity of doing one of those parties with just the headphones, you're giving off one channel, you're giving off the music. You know, and maybe you could probably put the DJ in there and stuff like that if you really want to. But I'm sure, were they playing like the EDM stuff, or just whatever?
DJ just spinning records.
See, I've never been to anything like that. Never. I think it would be awesome as hell to do. Maybe I'll, when everything, this new world comes, to fruition soon, I'll be able to come there. Maybe we'll just go to one of those kind of events and go like really live a little. That'd be awesome. I'm all for that.
I'm sure you could look it up on YouTube, see what it's like.
Now, you are by trade a trainer. Now, with the pandemic and everything, we haven't really talked about future plans of your actual work. We've just talked about what you could do to work now. Well, that's for whatever. Your facility, I'm sure it's because, like here in Pennsylvania, gyms and things, gyms and salons are not allowed to be open. It's like a bar because our yellow doesn't let you do that. Green, you can have salons. I know for sure. Bars can open as long as you have like a pickup. I'm sure that they have their rules for going table to table or something. And then I still don't think gyms are a thing. With you being a personal trainer, what is your guys' plan looking to open up soon if you haven't already? If is there one in Chicago?
I don't know of any. The last thing I heard from the place that I work at was we moved into phase 3, which allows for groups of 10 maximum. And they said that they're not going to open the facility if they're only able to, take 10 people at a time.
If they're only able to pay the water bill.
Yeah. The facility I work at is huge. The operating costs are ridiculous, and the majority of the revenue is based off of membership dues, which we're not receiving right now because people aren't coming into the gym because they can't. So revenue dues off of 10 people per hour, 100 people. That's when typically we have over 2,000 people come into the building every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So you're talking. Yeah. So financially, I mean, I look at it and like it doesn't make sense. I don't even know if it makes sense for the next phase, which I think is 50 people. I still look at that number of 2,000 per day versus 50 times, 24. Well, they're not even going to be open 24 hours because they're going to close to do
Yeah,
deep
because of
cleaning every.
cleaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, if we look at, we'll make it easy, 50 times 20, it's still, 1,000. You're still missing half of your revenue right there. And your operating costs have increased because of all the extra cleaning that needs to be done. So, it's going to be a challenge for them. It's when you're in business, if you're in any type of management position, the place will typically have you do what's called a SWOT analysis, the SWOT, which is you list all your strengths in one column, your weaknesses in another column, your opportunities, and then your threats. So strengths and weaknesses is pretty much things that you can control, and they're internal things. Opportunities and threats are typically outside things that typically aren't in your control. And threats, that was always one of my threats that I thought of with the business model is, and I've seen this happen with other companies before, is they've been in hyper growth, like open as many facilities as you can. And the problem with that is you start to spread your resources too thin. You start to spread your assets too thin. Whether it be you're taking the best of one club, when there's a grand opening, you're going to take two or three. It's almost like sports. You bring a new team into the league, you're going to deplete some of the good players from the other teams in order for that new team to exist. So I just always thought of that as a threat. When you're expanding too quickly, if there's something that happens in the economy, you're kind of screwed. Not kind of, you are screwed when you're growing too fast, and really that's what they're up against right now. And the CEO that runs the company, he's on the board of advisors for the economic reopening of the nation, and he lobbied to get gyms earlier in the opening phases, which I'm opposed to. I don't think that was. I mean, in all honesty, it just smells of. I know I'm losing a ton of money, and I got to recoup this money as quickly as possible, as opposed to, hey, maybe it's not the safest thing, or.
But there's no price tag on your health.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I feel for him because he's got a dilemma. They went private about 2 years ago, and the people that bought it, it's like, yeah, well, we're expecting you to open this many clubs and by this time, and now all of a sudden there's a huge wrench that's been thrown into the gears. So now it's almost like I'm expecting to go back to panic mode, so to speak, which isn't not something to look forward to. So, yeah, I mean, for that industry, and I know that there's other major gyms that are going to fall into the same problems here of reduced revenue and increased operating costs when they had these models that they've been running forever. Now all of a sudden, where the biggest chunk of revenue that feeds that model is now gone, or now not gone, but reduced by so much, it can cause a huge shakeup in a lot of different things. So, and especially, I think I mentioned this before, every industry has its, stuff that is shitty for the workers, so to speak. Every industry has it. The fitness industry is no different. So the shitty things that workers have to go through in the fitness industry is typically, if you're a trainer, you only get paid on training somebody or selling your services or selling a product. So basically, they don't have to pay you hourly. You're only getting paid when you're being productive, which that makes for a good business model to grow your business. The best people are going to stick around because they can make a lot of money, and the worst people are naturally just going to fall to the wayside because they're not making enough money. But what you see is this goes back to the optimal schedule that we talked about last week. They try to have optimal labor hours, which means spend the least amount of money possible to make sure things are clean and things get done. So that labor burden typically falls on personal trainers. Well, if you're not with a client, go out and clean something. Well, you're not
Oh, you're
paying
not
me
paying
out.
me to. Yeah, you're not paying
Yeah,
me to clean. You're
you're
paying
not
me
paying
to.
me out. Exactly. So,
It's
and
essentially
the
free
company,
labor.
yeah, the company I work for does it. Other companies I work for in this industry do it as well. It's kind of they just kind of rely on trainers not having a sense of business.
Mhm.
Fortunately, I went to college for business. Like I kind of see the big picture here. It's like this is actually like slave labor if you really
Yeah.
want to take it to the extreme here. Um, but anyways, the point is, a lot of these companies rely on that labor where they don't have to pay for it. Now all of a sudden they've got to pay triple the cost of that, or uh, yeah, triple the cost of that, because like not only are you paying for the labor that you should have been paying in the first place, you're paying probably twice or three times as much because there's more labor that needs to happen. There's new rules in place that require you to have to clean more, to have more man hours, to have more labor hours. So it's interesting. I don't, I told my brother-in-law what, about a month ago. He was asking, when do you think you go back? I'm like, honestly, I don't see it happen until probably like August. He's like, stuff's
Now
gonna start.
you remember months ago we're like, yeah, this is. I don't see it taking that long, but
Mm.
here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I said it because he was just like, dude, things are gonna like we're already starting to open things back up, and gyms are phase 3 and this and that. I'm like, dude, like just understanding the model of the business,
Yeah.
like doing my best to understand what their income statement's gonna look like. I'm like, I don't see a positive income statement till August. Like I really don't, and a lot of it is going to have to do with it's not just the restrictions lifting; it's people's perceptions of safety. You know, they've been doing polls about what percentage of people are going to go back to the gym once they open. Are you going to wait 3 months after they open to kind of see what happens? Are you never going to go again? Or is it going to take, like a year or not a year, but until a vaccine comes out? And it's the amount of people, I think it was only like 20% of the people said that 20 to 30% said that they would go back immediately. But the majority was like either they're not going back um, for 3 months or longer, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, the crazy thing is I haven't seen these polls being done by my company. Like I haven't seen them, ask the membership, what are you thinking?
What are your
Because
plans?
yeah, what is your business model? Like, how are you projecting any numbers when you don't even know, like, are these people even going to come through the door?
Yeah.
So to see those numbers, like, first of all, doesn't surprise me. I would say that a third of the people in general, because what that means to me is like a third of the people, basically, like these are the people that don't think that there's a need for social distancing or there's a need for masks, which I disagree with, but I know that percentage wise, it's probably about a third of the people, or
Mhm.
say that this whole thing doesn't need to be as serious or taken as serious as it has been. Um, which, if we think about that, when you go back to work, it's like, okay, so the only people that are going to be in the facility are the ones that never thought that we should have social distance or wear a mask in the first place. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you have to look forward to go back to? People bitching and moaning about, oh, don't you think this whole thing is stupid? Which I was hearing before everything shut down. People are like, oh, this is stupid. Don't you think this is dumb? And it's like,
And the people that wear masks that go out into public with people that don't wear masks are going to get crap from the people who don't wear masks. Like, well,
yeah,
what are you afraid? So it's going to hinder a lot of people from wanting to even go out into public.
yeah,
Because there's going to be that switch point where there's going to be people still wearing masks, and there's going to be people who aren't because they're going to give them the option. And there's going to be that, I don't want to say class, struggle, but there's going to be, it's going to be us versus them type thing. That
yeah,
whole thing again.
yeah. Just like everything else, it's politicized and
Yeah.
divides people. Yeah, we we all see what's going on with all that. But no, I mean the other thing that I have concern with. I talked to one of my really really close friends that I used to work with at the last facility I work at. I've since changed facilities, me and him have stayed good friends, and he brings up the point. He's like, dude, he goes, two things that I see happening when we go back: they reduce our commission, the amount that they pay us, and they're gonna tell us to clean more. And I'm like, dude, I see it too, because how else? I don't see how you get away with opening back up without finding ways to reduce the cost of your labor, because the labor has to go up
Yeah.
and the revenue is going to go down. So from a number standpoint, which we always look at that, we don't think of how it affects people. From a number standpoint, we'll just drop the commission. Things that we can easily control, like, hey, instead of paying you, $30 to service the session, now we're going to pay you 25. And I'm sure they'll do something like that, and I'm sure they'll spin it as like, oh, something positive or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever. So, my overall thought on it is, I don't see anything good in the future for it. With respect to staying there. Now, this is coming from somebody like I've worked with corporate long enough. I've worked with corporate places long enough. It's like, to me, you guys said before about how there's opportunities. Like, to me, this is my opportunity to do my own thing, which is a good thing. So I'm been making moves towards making that happen. Like I said, I just one of the things I dealt with my entire life, anxiety. I think I talked about a little bit last podcast, but ever since I've left work, like, been chill, like zero anxiety, like not easily emotional over things, or even if you are, like, you come down from it really quick. You don't dwell on things, that type of thing. And I find that I haven't been in that environment, because there's a lot of bullshit in that environment. I realized, like, hey, when I'm not around a lot of bullshit, hey, it's back to feeling normal again.
Yeah, you said you turned off a bunch of the news feeds, and I actually went through my settings on Facebook Monday after we talked about all that, and I went into the interests, I believe it was, like, or the ad interest, or the ad. It was add something, or a preference or something, and I went in there, and there was like 300 things I had to click
Turn it
off
all
of.
off. Yeah.
So it puts in a little bit of work, but damn, it was a quiet week.
It's worth it, ain't it?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I unfollowed just about everybody on my Facebook, and then I have just a few that I went through and just personally went through and clicked. Okay, I want to. I don't mind seeing that what this person's has to say on a regular basis or whatever, because they're not just throwing up what they saw on a friend's Facebook page, So
I like that you use the words throwing up too, because I feel like that's what it, like, when I read it, half the time it feels like I'm getting thrown up on, like, here's some bullshit.
Nice.
And they won't do any research. They don't put anything in the tag to say, okay, well, this is what I think. They just throw it up there with no intelligence behind it. And I'm like, you know what? Doing 3 seconds worth of research, I realize this is bullshit. I'm unfollowing that, just because it's
ain't got no
time. I got no bandwidth for that.
No time for that.
No bandwidth.
0%. Ain't got no time.
Like in Billy Madison, the movie Billy Madison, when they're looking to put the flaming dog poo on the guy's front porch, and he goes, "Here is a nice piece of shit." Like, that's how I feel. Like, that's how I felt. Like, half the stuff that I would see, like, oh, here's a nice piece of shit article.
Yeah. It's like people will come up to you and they're like, "Oh man, hey, what do you think of the?" Because they have a hot dog stand right, across the way from my work. They're wearing masks. Like, I'm not going to get into all the precautions, but you can tell that they've really put a lot of thought into how they are continuing their business and be able to run this business. But people will be like, "Oh, well, how's the hot dog?" And then your reply needs to be, "Well, it'll make a turd." I had a friend say that to me years and years and years and years ago, and man, it always stuck with me. Yeah, like you said, the throw up, man. The turd's a turd. It is what it is. Yeah, definitely worth turning all that stuff off. Played some video games this week. Mostly just these last couple days just been, like I said, I dove into trying to get this audio figured out, so I could be able to project these things up for everyone. Uh, I've been a nerd as long as I can remember, uh, and it's been so much fun. Uh, it's funny that now that people are seeing our audio and our video, or hearing our audio and seeing our video and things, I think of the very first couple podcasts. I listen to how it sounds, and I listen to how the content, and then I also see what we're all using. And it's
Yep.
funny how nonchalant everybody's like moved to these headphones, or they moved to that microphone. The way of the world is this is moving forward. And I brought it up again on the show last night, the on air, about how bands should be playing virtual shows a couple times a year. You
Yeah.
think we
Well, I
got
think that'll be a new thing that'll go going forward. I got a feeling that's going to be.
every
I mean,
band?
Metallica has stuff on there once a week. I see something posted on Facebook about Metallica throwing up a video from a live concert or whatever. Just they're constantly putting their stuff out there to get it in front of people's eyes and to remind them, hey, we're still here. We're
Oh
still
yeah.
relevant. You know what I mean? We might not be right in front of you, but at least we can get in front of your eyes, and you can still oh yeah, I remember that. I want to listen to that again, or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've seen performances, or like just a couple songs here and there, by a lot of artists, a lot of new songs. A lot of people are posting like 30-second, 1 minute clips of them playing their new material, like little teasers and things. But it's brilliant because if you think, all right, after we got done doing our podcast, or not podcast, but we did a live stream for South of 90, the audio wasn't the most amazing, but you got to see the performance. People got to see us being people. They were all there. We were communicating with them in the chat.
You got to interact with
like
it too.
it was really awesome,
You got to interact with everybody. That was the other thing.
That was the biggest thing for me, was the interaction. But I had a lady message me, an older lady that I've known back from when I used to teach line dancing forever, like 20 years ago. And she reaches out to me. She said, "Hey, Jamie, just wanted to say it was so awesome to be able to hear you guys play. Because I can't ever make it to any shows because, I don't drive. I can't see very well. I have a hard enough time with just being on here to write an email to
People
somebody."
can click a link.
She said, "But I was able to watch you guys play, and that was awesome. Thank you." And I was like, "Goddamn right!" And that's why we wanted to do it, and that's why I want to do a couple virtual shows a year for my band. Well, because we're gonna end up getting to play, whether it's the four of us up on the stage 35 feet from people, or whether we're surrounded, or whether we're up there wearing masks, or the crowd's wearing masks, or however, dude, they're gonna figure it out. And as soon as somebody's like, "You know what? This is gonna be the best way to get a band here." Yeah, we're gonna do this. Here we go. When that happens, like I feel it's not till at least August, September, for even a minimal thing to where it makes sense. To have a band come in, you have to pay a substantial amount of money, because you're paying for the time, you're paying for the insurance, you're paying for wear and tear. You're paying like when you become a musician. This is what separates a lot of people, and everybody has their own views. That's great. This is mine. We're here in my opinion. That's why I have a microphone. My somebody explained to me that when you're in the catering business, okay, you spend hours and hours and hours prepping this banquet, if you will. You're gonna go and you're gonna do this banquet. You're gonna present your product, your craft, to these people. You're not gonna go and you're not gonna feed 60 people with all your hard work for nothing. So with music, it is okay to charge a fair price, because you also spend hours and hours and hours and hours prepping for this. Lots of hours wasted, lots of not wasted. I'm sorry, that was a bad use of the word, but a lot of hours invested learning songs, changing strings. Strings cost money. Straps cost money. Picks cost money. Grease for your guitars costs money. Everything has a price tag, and the moral of it is actually I don't remember where the hell I was going. That's okay, but my rabbit hole gets me to doing a virtual show. It's just beneficial to everyone because then people that don't ever get to hear you play can come hear you play the show. Uh, I don't remember what I was saying after that. Who cares? Whatever. I'm not gonna stress it. It was fun. Uh, Last night was a lot of fun, man. Let me know what you guys think about it. It was really.
Yeah, I'll check it out today.
I know for me, I felt it was a great experience, but I can't judge what you feel.
I listened to it for a minute, but I didn't see any video on it. So
The first couple songs, everything sounds great. From what people had told me, this is what people told me is that the first, like if you listen to the duration of the songs, the first couple minutes in, for first two songs, the guitars got. I felt the guitar was great, the bass was great, the vocal was a little loud, but it sounded good, but it was too loud, so it was crackling on smaller speakers.
gotcha.
So I brought everything back. If you listen to like the last 10 minutes, last three songs, four songs, you're going to listen to the volumes in a complete different place. I
Gotcha.
backed off the vocal even more. I backed off the guitar and bass a little bit more. Tell me if you think that it sound towards the end that they lost the feel, or if it felt full and like a show. Most shows are loud.
Yeah.
Most shows you're not listening to on a cell phone with
Yeah.
one little speaker.
Well,
So
that's the thing is
you have to
everybody's
find what
device
works
is
good for
different.
everyone.
Yeah, the devices are all different. I mean, some cell phones only have one speaker. You know.
And if anybody's gonna figure it out, it's fucking me. I'm telling you
Yeah.
that. I am
Oh, yeah.
gonna figure this audio out. That will not stop. My audio on this podcast has gotten better, but I have not dove in it. This today, I feel that today is probably the best overall tone my volume has had. I don't know. I won't know till after the show. But I have backed my volume also off a lot compared to what I normally have my volume on. Like I'm probably like 22, maybe 24 decibels, negative decibels. Uh, I'd say the podcast I was doing them those last several at 34, so it's down a lot. Uh, but yeah, just another that's another example of what I think about way too much. Uh,
Sure.
Yeah, if it makes you happy, there's nothing wrong with it.
But I don't know if we're going to get to play anytime soon. So mastering these virtual shows is going to be quite the craft.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow out to a bar for the first time in I don't know how long.
Just make sure you duck.
Yeah.
Don't run into it.
Yeah, you know that's my favorite joke.
Well, they got like an hour.
These two guys walk into a bar, right? The third one ducked.
Ducks, yeah. They have an outdoor seating area, I guess. And a bunch of the guys from work are gonna meet up after work. So I told them I'd go out and meet up with them.
So these guys, right? They walk into the bar and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" Yeah, no mask. Hey, that's great. Or oh, hey, I'm wearing my mask. You're like, I got my Bruins mask. But anyways, so you're gonna walk up to the waiter and you're like, hey, can I get a can I get a Yingling? And he's gonna be like, sure, no problem. 13 cents. You're like, 13 cents? Holy shit! I'll take some food then. What you got, buddy? He says, today we got a special on the ribeye with some mashed potatoes and gravy. He says, nice. How much? He's like, $1.50.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, hell yeah! Wow, this place is awesome. Just happy to have business. Great. Where's the owner of the place? He's like, oh, he's upstairs with my wife. He says, well, what's he doing with your wife? Same thing I'm doing to his business.
It's outstanding.
For anyone that needs the punchline, it means fucking it. Anyway.
Since we're going through the comedy, I'll share the
because remember we were going to start this to be funny.
Yeah. So here I'll share the comment of the week in my opinion. I think I sent this to you guys. It was off of Facebook. The story was NASCAR bans Confederate flags.
Oh yeah.
And so this guy has a comment on here that was just brilliant. His name is Joel Cedeno Pacheco. Awesome name. His comment. I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of mullets cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
That's strong. That's strong.
Whew. So we look at statistics on here. There's 4.9k comments, and he's got 1k likes. So out of the 5,000 people, 1 out of 5 people was like, "Yeah, that's a good comment."
The other,
Well played.
the
Well-
other
well
ones did
played.
not. Probably didn't.
Well-
You know why? They probably didn't understand what it meant.
It's a possibility, but
1% was
I-
like,
I was-
really, dude, really.
That
I always like.
that
was like a
shows you
good
that
Star-
1 out of 5 people understand Star Wars. That's what it is.
I mean, just well played, sir. Well played.
I
Oh,
don't know if you saw it or not. I know TJ did. So I saw this picture come across my feed today, and it says Extreme Midget Wrestlers. Extreme Midget Wrestling is coming to Rolla, Missouri at Signature Event Center. This is a sponsor on Facebook. So of course I'm a dick, and I put, "What's the big deal?" And I said it.
I made a thing.
Ah.
Made a thing.
I was like, "What's the big deal?"
I had something for your one segment. Like boy, wait, what was it? Boy, I'm dumb or something like that. Or
Oh, how
I'm
dumb am I?
Am I done with that?
How dumb am I? How dumb am I? Okay. So it's an Instagram from Mental Health Quotes.
Nice, I like it.
The quote is, "What a wonderful thought it is that some of the best days of our lives haven't happened yet." So I reply on there, "I'm not a fan of soap operas, but I respect that they are still doing this show after all these years."
Yeah, dude, I read that and I was cracking up laughing.
Days of our lives.
Days of our lives, like the show. Got 'em.
How dumb am I?
How dumb am I? And here's my how dumb am I. I saw a meme that had a political figure, if you will, and it said, "Who shit my pants?" You know who it was in the picture? Did you guys see that? Who's
Mm-mm.
Biden?
Oh Jesus!
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't get all political, but that made me laugh because Joe Rogan talks about it. And he's like, I'm not saying that Biden's not a good guy. I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good president. I'm just saying that his memory's slipping, and we can't be, stuck with a president that has no real reconciliation of what's going on at the time. Because he's like, I haven't seen it. I can't prove it medically. I'm not a doctor. But Rogan, he talks about his opinion is that Biden is a bad move because he's very forgetful and he's like parts of dementia, and that's why I said, "Who shit my pants?" Because
I saw one of his posts for not Joe Rogan's but Biden, an advertisement for him where he's asking for our help in saving the nation or whatever, and even in the final cut that they decided to go with, he stammers and says a sentence. I can't remember the exact sentence, but he said the sentence just doesn't make. There's like, you understand the sentence, but it's not. The sentence structure is not correct. It's like,
talking
really?
like Yoda-ish.
Really? No, yeah. It was just like he was missing. I think he was missing a word or something, but it just didn't sound right. And you like, I had to watch it over again because I was like, it didn't. Did he say that? Like that was the good cut. Like, how many of the bad cuts did they go through? They were like, never mind. We got it. We'll go with what we got. We'll figure it out.
Oh, like that all state or commercial or whatever, or where he's like flippity flippity flip.
Yeah, liberty flippity.
Liberty mutual. He says liberty slippity. He says liberty
mutual.
liberty mutual.
Line.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever they talk about the phlebotomy, we call it flippity or flippity flashy blows. It's the same concept. It's so funny. You guys
I want to give a PSA out there to people: don't buy from friggin' Walmart's online website.
Oh yeah, dude. So I want you to tell them because again we were talking about.
You want me to go through the whole
laptop.
story of?
Yeah, dude. Tell them this situation. Now, anyone that wants to know or remembers, TJ did say podcasts, not one, not two, podcasts ago that he had ordered a new laptop to be able to do all of his streaming stuff on. So
Editing and all that stuff.
while you guys are doing that, while you're telling them, I am going to run to the bathroom real quick because I drank a lot of water today. So I
I know I drank about half of
will
this gallon already.
I will be right back.
All right, so I started this. Let me pull up where I looked when I initially purchased the laptop, which I received the first laptop almost without issue. Well, at least issue from Walmart because they weren't the ones that were delivering it. It came a day late, but that's not the worst thing that happened. Um, oh, let's see. So I bought this laptop. It doesn't tell me their initial date, so it was like 7 days before. Say like just about 4 weeks ago now. I bought a laptop, nice laptop. Got delivered. It was like a day late. It was whatever. Got lost in transition, whatever. Got it. Got it the day of one of our podcasts. I think it was like 3 podcasts ago. Hooked everything up. Was having a little bit of trouble with the audio. Thought everything was all right. Finished the podcast. All of a sudden, I closed my laptop, and it's fully charged. So I unplug it. I go back to look at it about 20 minutes later. So I just wanted to check some settings and things and just tweak it a little bit more and see what else it did. And it's saying that the battery, it wouldn't power up. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. So I plug it in, powers up. And then there's a little icon in the corner on the bottom of the screen says it's not detecting a battery. So I'm like, oh, great. So I look through all the fixes online, see if I can get drivers that have to be updated for it. Some were saying to delete the drivers, but there were no drivers for it. But I couldn't find the drivers that actually were for the battery. And I'm like, all right, well, this is enough of this. I've only had it a day. I'm like, I'm just going to return it. And brought it into Walmart, returned it. They put my money on gift cards so I could go online and reorder a new laptop right away and didn't have to wait for it to be returned to the credit card. So I go online, I order it, a different laptop because I was like, I'm not going to take a chance on that. I'm not going to order another one of the same and have the same problem because I was thinking maybe it was a design flaw, and the things that I read online, a lot of people were having similar issues. So I decided to go with a different laptop. Well, I bought the laptop, I ordered it, waited, still being prepared. The order was still being prepared for shipping. It's like 6 days, it's still being prepared. I'm like, all right, I'm going to call and find out. Come to find out, it's through their marketplace sellers. They don't make it obvious on that website very well, at least. It's in very fine print, smaller, thin print underneath everything in the shipping, that it's not Walmart selling the product. It's a third market seller, which means it's somebody in China or whatever. This place was Sunrise Mall or something. And so they were like, well, we can contact them. And if they don't contact us within 24 hours, we can cancel your order then. I'm like, well, why can't you just cancel it now? They're like, well, we have to give them the chance. But I was like, all right, fine. So I waited. They literally less than 24 hours later, I got an email saying that they canceled the order. Now this is the second laptop. So I'm like, all right, well, now I got to wait for the money to get credited back to the gift cards a couple of days so that I can reorder another laptop. Now I'm on my third laptop ordering. After I've gone through their whole website and seen how many third-party sellers they have, I avoided all of them and ordered one that was coming directly from Walmart, being shipped and sold by Walmart. And now it's supposed to be here in 3 days, supposed to be here on the 17th, and it still hasn't been shipped out. I contacted them yesterday, and it's supposedly, or day before yesterday, I contacted them, and they said, oh, it's scheduled to be shipped out by the 1st. So by the 1st, it should be shipped out. Well, it's still in prepared, so now I have to call them tomorrow. And if they don't have it shipped out by tomorrow, I'm just going to tell them to cancel it, and then I have to see about getting the money put back on my card instead of the gift card, so I can go to Best Buy or somewhere else. So the lesson of the story is if you're going to shop on Walmart, check to see if it's actually sold by Walmart and not sold by a third-party seller on their marketplace. Because every seller on their marketplace, if you go onto Walmart's rating thing, every comment and every rating is a 1 for all of them. There isn't one marketplace seller on Walmart that I found a positive comment for. There's some kind of delay. They didn't get the product. One person got the laptop and it didn't have memory in it. It didn't have another component in it as well. Like it was missing pieces inside the laptop.
It's been a fiasco for you, I
Yeah.
know.
So
Now, did you guys see on the news about that Amazon uh, distribution center that caught on fire? I believe my wife said. Uh,
Mm-mm.
yeah, like a warehouse, like one of their
no, I didn't
warehouses
hear about
caught on
that. We had
fire.
a UPS place that's having Amazon package problems. They're just sitting on packages at the warehouse,
Oh yeah, yeah,
refusing
yeah.
to deliver them.
Because they're probably
There's some kind of dispute between the two corporations, so they're not making it a priority to ship their packages. So Amazon put out a statement saying that they have other avenues to other deliveries companies to go. UPS is saying that they're pushing too much product and they're not uh, adhering to the limit. Like they only supposed to have a certain amount of packages sent through UPS.
I keep laughing because every time Jamie goes to talk, you can hear his fan, whatever filter thing going on there. It sounds like there's like gunshots going on in the background, dude. It sounds like you're in like the Wild West. It's awesome.
well. I am in the country after all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God the
We noticed,
thank God the
we
sirens
noticed it
aren't going
before.
on.
We noticed it before we started. We're like, what? Do you hear like gunshots?
When he was
or
left,
something?
yeah, when you walked away.
Like, you all right, man?
Well, it's the country, man. I got nothing. Who the hell
Hey, I'm hearing
knows?
fireworks.
Yep.
It's getting close to the 4th of July, so people are lighting fireworks off out here.
You know, the 4th of July is my wife and my anniversary. So, uh, it was one of the best moves ever that, she talked me into. So that way, if I always forget, I can be sitting there in a lawn chair and see fireworks. Like, oh shit, today's the day. We're all celebrating my
You're
wedding.
seeing fireworks.
That's
It's
right.
too late.
Whew, wow.
You turn to her and say,
Yeah.
"Happy anniversary! I did this for you."
Yeah, it's not holy shit, today is the day. It's holy shit, today was the day.
The day, yeah. Because at that point, the whole day has gone past. He looks at her like, "Oh, that's why you've been giving me the stank eye all day."
Like, oh,
He just see as he
oh,
realizes
how
fireworks
dumb
go
am
off
I? I
behind him,
get
like,
it. I get it. Say what?
big fireworks display behind his head, like a big light bulb.
Like I've told everybody, man, marriage is the best thing my wife ever talked me into. I, no, I'm a very lucky man, dude. Could you imagine how crazy and messed up my life would be if I didn't have my wife constantly there this whole time, redirecting traffic, so to speak? I'm like, she is the most patient woman I know. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
she deserves.
Have those two flashlights like at the airport. The
Oh
guy's like,
yeah.
she's like, Jamie, no, this way. Not here.
Leave it. Leave it.
Put it down.
That's enough. Let's go.
That's the cross.
I just imagine Amber chasing her around with a newspaper and one of those spray bottles, like stop it.
Yeah, she's like, leave it. Yeah, it was really awesome last night because she's not a big fan or like even a little fan really of country music. Uh, she's patient because I used to play a lot of rock and heavy metal, which she loves. And now I've been
tricked her.
playing.
You
I've
bait
been
and
playing
switched her.
country. Oh, dude,
You
I
bait
played
and
heavy
switched
metal.
her.
I had long hair. Good looks. Now I have.
The old bait and switch.
Now I play country, no hair, and still have good looks. But
So what my vote was on your poll.
now
right?
the hair, no, now the hair went from up here down to my beard, and I
Right.
had to shave it off once. Yeah.
My vote for was for metal.
Well, good for you guys. Anyways, so my wife, she's very patient, and she'll listen to the streams, and right up the bat, she's like, "Wow, it actually sounds good." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean? Actually sounds good?" You know. So I come down. I was like, "All right, what's up?" She's like, "Oh, it sounds good. You guys having fun in the clubhouse?" All right, you mean studio, clubhouse. All right, you win. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Cosawago Clubhouse. Man, the Dad Cave or the James Cave or whatever. Um, yeah, this week coming up. Don't really have anything planned. Might do an on air next Saturday. I know one day this week we're gonna do mag. Uh, no, Justin said, or yeah, he said what Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday
Yeah, I'm
after a
fine with
certain
any of
time,
those days.
or
Yep.
Thursday. I will, after 3:30 my time or whatever, I'm pretty golden. 4:30 this week, with some things going on at work. Um, so yeah, we'll make that happen.
Hmm.
We can also discuss that, here in a little bit when we're playing Rocket League. Uh, yeah, I plan on doing that. My garden's been growing. Got tomatoes, and it all started with the podcast. We were talking about sustaining living and all that. And I'm like, you know what? I really do got to put my garden in. So I got my red peppers and my green peppers. I got my tomato plants and red onion. And my niece and I, we go back there. I'm like looking down at it, and I'm like, all right. She says, "It's really dry, Uncle Jamie." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I think it rained the other night." She's like, "Yeah, it's really dry, Uncle Jamie." I'm like, whatever. So I start reading online, the best scenario for red onions. They're like, "Oh, wet, but not drenched often." I'm like, well, I put the garden in like 3 weeks ago, something. I haven't watered it once, so I should probably run. I should probably run the
Should run the
hose
hose over it. Yeah.
back there. So I ran the hose back there, and uh, yeah. So, because all I've been thinking about is that damn show yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out there and we're watering everything, and she's like, "Uncle Jamie, this water's soaking in really fast." I'm like, "Yeah,
Thirsty.
I bet."
Necro thirsty.
I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then it becomes a teaching moment. So I'm like, "Well, let's just go ahead and put the hose down. We'll let the ground absorb some of the moisture, and then we'll go ahead and water it again soon." She's like, "All right." So she walks around, up to the front yard. I walk in the house, go to the bathroom, stuff. I walk back out. Her and her sister, they both come out back, and they're looking at the garden, and yeah, it's like, wow, that's pretty dry still. It's like, wow, that sucked it up pretty fast. I said, and it's what? I looked at my thermometer, and it's like, it's like 60. What did it say it was today? 62 degrees. I was like, fuck, it ain't even hot. That sun ain't even hot enough to fucking, evaporate the water, and the water's already gone away. All right. All right. So we watered it again. And so hopefully my garden will thrive. I look over at my neighbor's tomato plants they got there, and they're like double the size, looking all good. Like, they're doing a great job. I look at them.
They're watering them.
I'm like, all right, all right. Well, how dumb am I? Well, there's the fucking proof, y'all. There's the proof. I knew better. I just didn't make the time. But I said when I put it in, I was going to make sure that I took care of it. So I've been going out there and I've been weeding it, but I ain't been watering it. Because I figure it rains like every other day. Well,
Yeah, you gotta water it every day.
Pretty much.
so, I'll be working
It's a
on
learning
that.
moment. It's a learning moment.
I'll be working on that.
I don't know if I told you guys this, new suggestion for a segment on the Mag podcast, Gamer Tag of the Week.
All right.
Where,
Yeah.
Yeah, where we see something that's super funny or whatever and talk about it.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be hilarious because how many times do we say like, "Oh my God, can you believe this guy's name?"
Yeah.
Well, I already have one that I feel is the absolute best one that I ever read. It was not my own, but I will tell you, dun dun dun, because I'm going to save it for the cast.
Oh yeah, I've got a great one.
Were you feeling that
this one-
emotion there? Like,
Yeah, it was a good hook. This one, the first one is so good that it made me come up with the idea of, hey, we should really discuss this.
Oh yeah.
because there's a reason why I think it's funny, but I'd like to hear your guys' perspective on first of all whether you think it's funny. Second of all, what makes it funny or not funny.
uh, yeah, no, I'm excited to hear that. You got me on the edge of my seat now. Speaking of middle-aged gaming, TJ, you want to tell them where to find it and whatnot?
It's going to be Middle Age Gaming on Facebook, and right now it's and Sprangboro Sessions on SoundCloud
And Spotify.
and Spotify. Yes, I forget about Spotify.
Yeah, but you can find it on there. You can, if you search for Sprangboro Sessions or middle-aged gaming. You can find it there on Spotify. You can find it on SoundCloud. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. I don't know if there's any gamers out there. You know, it's funny. I talk to people at work, and I'm like, well, you know, I come from a gaming generation. You know, where that's what we've learned to do and we've done, and they always laugh and think it's funny, and but it's true. We are a gaming, generation.
Oh yeah,
But we're just getting older, and I'm okay with that. I've learned a lot in my life. I'm 37. I've spent probably the better part of 30 some years of that beating the shit out of my body, not trying very hard, not doing much, because it's like whatever, man. But these last couple of years it's been awesome. It's been survival. It's been try harder. My wife, again, she's very patient. So I go out and I buy this watch, a fitness watch. What was that, like a month and a half ago?
yeah.
I used to have a Fitbit, but I go out and I buy this cheapo one that I find on Amazon. And I was excited because, it was pretty reasonably priced. It was probably $50. And it tells you all these features and stuff. I'm like, hell yeah. Yes. For like $50, hell yeah. So I get this watch. I wait a week. It comes in. I put it on. First day, the thing doesn't do half the things I want it to. Like, I bought this because I have anxiety issues. So I like to keep track of my blood, my heartbeat and stuff like that. So I buy this watch for that, and I buy it to track my sleep. And so it automatically goes into sleep mode at 9 o'clock on the dot, and then it shuts off whenever, So it tells me that I get so much sleep or whatever the first night I have it. Now again, I went to bed at like 8:30, so it already wasn't accurate. I'm like, whatever. You get what you pay for. Whatever. So then I go to use this heartbeat thing. Doesn't do shit. I'm like, all right. So then I connected Bluetooth to my phone. And so every phone call that comes to my phone is starting to project the volume onto my watch. So, when people would call me, it'd be there and I'd have to transfer it over or whatever. Then if the same thing. And again, because I wear my wireless earbuds a lot. So then I'm connected to two devices, and the one supposed to be for the call and audio still comes up on my wrist. I'm like, all right, this is fucking dumb. Now I'm going around the elbow to get to the asshole. And the thing isn't even fucking working, okay? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to suck it up, and I'm going to be an adult. And I'm going to return it to these people. I sent them an email. To how with Amazon you have to go to return blah 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 blah. I got to send it back. They company sends me an email, and they're like, "Well, with the pandemic going on, we're really concerned about health and sanitization, and we're worried we don't have the amount of resources to take care of this properly or to take care of that properly. So we're going to refund you your money. We would like you to just keep the watch."
Oh wow.
So I'm like, goddamn right, I got this fucking free watch. You know what? This thing sucks donkey balls, but I'm going to fucking use it because I got it for free. I wear it for another 2 more days, 3 more days. Next thing I know, I'm like looking down at my wrist and I realize I'm itching it and stuff. And So I take a day or two off, 3 days. I put it back on a couple days. I'm looking down at this thing and I'm like, I'm having an allergic reaction to this little metal post that the strap is drops on because it's like one of them Apple Watch ripoffs. So it's got like a circle with a little post, a little band
Hmm.
splits over it. Well, I'm breaking out the whole time and I'm getting welts in one little spot on my arm, and then I'm like, oh, it's because I'm allergic to this fucking thing. I'm allergic to this little metal thing here, and it's making my arm break out. So my patient and lovely wife, for Father's Day, bought me a Fitbit Versa 2.
Nice.
And so I re-signed back into my Fitbit stuff. I'm going through it. I'm like, damn, this thing is awesome. It's way smarter than I am. It's not as patient as I am, I promise you that. Maybe it is. But this thing is brilliant and it's great, and I'm so excited to get it. The reason why I got rid of my Fitbit the first time is because when I was competing against people, because they would ask me to be a part of their competitions, I work supplies. I use my arms all day long. I'm always on the go. My last job, I was averaging 27,000 steps a day or something stupid between that. And then I went to my new job and I was like, I'll get less. Well, that wasn't true. I got just as many. So after you beat everybody for a while, they don't invite you anymore. I don't know if you guys knew that. Some people just don't like to lose. Well, I'm sorry that I get fucking 27,000 steps a day. So Friday, I'm in go mode, man. I'm running the stairs at work. I'm inputting all of my food and all my calories and stuff because that's what I need in my life. It's a great rabbit hole for me because it's positive and it's not social media. I can get on there and I can dive into it. And I know that you're probably like, yeah, good shit. But so Friday, I'm up in the studio. I get home at like 3:30. I'm up in the studio till 11 o'clock at night, running around. I spent 2 hours, 2 fucking hours, standing in different places on my floor with the camera at certain points. Like I had to try it at every angle up here because the roof at its highest point is 6'5.5". Okay, at its tallest point. So I'm gonna cram a whole band in here. So I figure the bass player, Greg, I figure he's 6'4". That's what I figure. So while I'm testing everything, I got my hand like this far above my head. So no matter what, if I was him, would I hit my head here? What proper placement? 2 hours. Well, last night when I was, or that night when I was going to bed, I hit 32,000 steps. Uh, it was my most ever because my arms never stop, dude. This, you know what's not good is my heart rate was at like 100, between 90 and 100 the whole time.
Oh, well.
Because I was just so focused on getting it done. And after I got the show done yesterday, I said, you know what? It's time I slow the hell down. I'm just gonna relax, enjoy, maybe watch some Netflix. Maybe do another grill and chill. I don't know, man. I'm just really glad that yesterday went as well as it did. I need a breather and I need my heart rate to drop back down and not be so involved. Uh, we were talking about how involved I was the other day when I was just like, woo! I was like, dang, man. I need to take a deep breath. So this Fitbit's been helping with that. So that's why I brought it up. Thanks, Amber. I'm glad you got it for me for Father's Day. It was really awesome, and she's so patient and she understands that I that's just me, man. And she's like, here, I think you need this, and I want to get that for you. So I want to say thank you, sweetheart. That was very, very awesome. Um, Speaking of sweethearts, TJ. I don't know, man. It was just funny. Everybody's worn out. You can see it in your faces. I know I'm worn out. You guys want to play some Rocket League?
Yeah.
You guys
I
up
gotta
for
eat.
that?
Rounds done.
Yeah.
I gotta eat some dip.
I'll go ahead and get on there. I'm gonna go ahead and eat. I had fun today. We'll be back on here in a couple days here with Justin. We'll be posting on the pages. Again, you can check them out. You can check out MAG, or Middle Age Gaming as it stands for. You can check out Sprangboro Sessions. You can check out the new On Air. I want to bring up these real quick. Big, huge shout out to Aaron Forsyth's podcast. Check him out. He's funny. He's got a different approach on everything. He's really silly, but he's got a lot of sound effects on his podcast. But it sounds great, and it makes me laugh. And that's what it's supposed to be, entertainment. So anchor.fm/Aaron Forsyth, spelled AARONFORSYTH. Don Chado, again, for a free estimate or inquiries, and you're in the Erie County, the Yellow County, get a hold of Dan. Check out On Point Music. I want to say, before I wrap it up, I want you guys to don't be afraid to just live your life. I know I got this little saying, but I'm not going to go down that. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm proud of all you guys because I know it's not easy on anyone. Just keep doing what you're doing. If you need something to occupy your mind, you can always check out more podcasts. You can check us out on Spotify. And we do really want to say thank you so much for being here. Live focused. Live healthy. Just don't be afraid to live your best life, man. Deuces.